The European version of Freud was merged in almost right away, and the reason they leave us alone is because we operate at a high price point level. You know, there's nobody in this room could tell me that our blades are relatively cheap, right? They're pretty good, they're pretty priced. The prices have come down over the years, but we operate up here, and we own 75% of the market share. Okay? That's on every product that we make. So, let's move on to router bits. A lot of you guys do routering. And I'm going to show you this catalog that everybody has. The beautiful thing about this thing, and somebody found a mistake on it, but that's okay. All the samples, the wood samples are off to the side. They're all actual, they're one-to-one. So if you find yourself a bit, all these nice little samples here, these are actually one-to-one. So if you got a piece of stock, you want to go over to Peacock or something, and you need that, that's what it is. And he has a lot of router bit assortments. All the red, the ones that are written in red, are all half-inch stock, half-inch shaft. The ones in black, you didn't get one? Here.
I do have.
Okay. The ones that are in black are all quarter-inch stock. The ones that are in red are all half-inch shafts. Okay. So there isn't a lot of price difference, and if you do have a choice, go to the half-inch stock instead of the small ones, because I'll tell you why.
What page would we be looking at?
What's that, for the router bits?
Yeah.
Just after the saw blades, 122, 100, from about 100 and up.
Oh, okay.
Okay? So they start with the simple straight bits and they get into the more integrated bits. But all the profiles that you see, and it tells you what machines you can use them on too. It's great bedtime reading. It gives you all the angles, tells you all the reliefs, it gives you the shaft size, the heights of the shaft, carbide height, carbide diameter, and same with the bearing diameter if there is a bearing. I would recommend a lot of the stuff you guys use on router tables to do the routing on router tables. It's a very good sport, but it can get very dangerous at times too. Okay, so most bits that you guys see out there, this one I can't get out, but this is for cutting crown molds. So it's a chunky piece of billet, but it runs still at around 15,000, 20,000 RPM. And this belongs to a 2-bit system. So if you want to do like a 4.5, 5-inch crown, so you do the top portion, and then there's another portion that cuts the top portion, so that all you do is reverse your plank around and you run it through. So you can get you can do your own crown molding for your home up to 6 inches in height. Okay? So you buy your own stock. You don't have to buy the cheap MDF stuff. You don't have to go buy the foam stuff to get away from the warpage and stuff. You can do it all yourself. But you see that there's 2 wings on it, right? The 2 wing cutters. Okay? You'll see a lot of 2 wing cutters in this. This is just a simple round over bit. But now what we've done, we got about 70 profiles that we've put 4 wings on it. 2 down shear, 2 up shear. What does that do? Anybody? Yeah. Yeah. Right. Yeah. So anybody ever building cabinet doors when you do the rails and the stiles? So when you're doing the rails and stiles, pretend this is a rail. You're cutting with the grain. You can do a 2-wing cutter and cut with the grain, get no fuzz, you get a nice clean cut and everything. As soon as you start doing the cross grain, right? You're doing the cross grain, you have to run through it a couple of times to get that peach fuzz at the end, the burnout, the run out, whatever you want to call it. This solves all that problem. You can do 1 pass, cross grain, and you're good. They're not any more expensive than the double, and eventually you will start seeing the 2-wing cutters disappear. There's a lot of 2-wing cutters. Freud is the only company in the world that does quad cutters. Nobody's figured this out yet, but we have. So again, 1/2-inch shaft, 2 down shear, 2 up shear. The little cutters will clean out that fuzz. Okay? Did you get all of that? So here, I'll show you on a bigger one. Here, pass that around. This is where it was derived from. Race panel cutters were always 4-wing cutters. If you were using a 2-wing cutter on a race panel, you'd be crazy. Race panel, these panel cutters, this is physically the largest router bit you can buy, the largest router bit that will fit on a machine. Our machine, anybody's machine, 3.5 horsepower, 3.25 horsepower. These things, we balance them at 30,000 RPM. They're only meant to run at 10 to 12 max. Because we had somebody run it bigger and it doesn't work. So again, this is one pass. You can do this in one pass. Doesn't matter if it's oak, if it's maple, or if it's pine. You can do it in one pass if you got a good machine. I'm not saying our machine was the best in the world. There's a good Bosch machine. There's a good Porter Cable machines that will have the constant speed built. The Nikita's machine's not that bad too. So again, permashield coating. Funny we put this on here though, because that never comes in contact with wood. So we use it to cool it down, and then we also use it to keep any corrosion away from it, okay? These things are balanced at 30,000. When we finished with the machine, this is forged out of one piece of metal. So it's a block that's forged, and then all of this is extruded out. So it's one piece of steel. Other than the smaller 1/4 inches I was saying before, they're forged. They're actually poured into a cast in one metal, and then they add the shaft to it. Okay, so this is all one piece. So if this was out of balance, you would see a couple of little divot holes in here. The computer tells you have to use or pull out a micron or something in order. So if you could actually hold this by here and spin it, it should never stop spinning because it's perfectly balanced at 30,000 RPM. Carbide is.
How'd you get it to stop?
It hit my finger. So what we also do is, and you can't see it because of the permashield, what we do is we leave gaps, and you'll see them more in the straight bits. There's a gap between the welds, and people think, oh, they forgot to weld this. But we do it on purpose to let heat dissipate. You got 2 different types of metal cooling it, trying to cool at the same time. So you got steel and you got carbide steel. So the carbide steel obviously gets hotter real fast, right? But the metal, because it's a bigger body, can dissipate the heat through the shaft and into the router. So you want it to cool down at the same speed, so they put a little bit of air vents in the carbide weld. It's welded, but they leave that little gap in order to vent the heat out faster. And again, these are silver, copper, silver weld. So the impacting the copper picks up the impact. It's like a shock absorber. When you put your router bit into the router, how far in does it go? Please give me the right answer.
No.
Yeah. Okay. Put them to the bottom and bring it up 1/8 or 1/16 of an inch. A lot of people use O-rings from thing. They drop them in the bottom. So once the shaft hits the bottom, then you stop it there. It's not going to chatter on you. Our router was good because it would give you the full turn, and then it would tighten, and then it would give you another 1.5 turns. So it had no way of actually loosening. It could not vibrate loose. Let's put it that way. You don't grip it from here because you want to get an extra 1/2 inch out of it. You don't do that. Question?
They'll be taught that tomorrow. Actually, we just had our router, we had an issue with that exactly because someone put it down too far and it just locked it.
Yeah.
So we had to get it fixed.
Yeah, so that's that. Any questions on routers? Router bits, sorry. We didn't talk a lot about it, but go ahead, yes.
I see that you have only 1/16 inch. That's the smallest you
In the carbide?
make.
Let's see.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are solid carbide bits?
Yeah.
Yeah, and these are for CNC machines. Are you running a CNC machine? We have, they're not in this catalog, but we do have CNC bits that come to a point. It's a whole kit. They're not in the catalog, unfortunately. They're brand new. And it come.
If you go to diablotools.com or Diablo CNC,
Yeah.
Google it, our whole line of CNC bits.
Anything else on router bits? Yes, sir.
Sharpening. Sharpening wedges.
Straight bits, yes. Profile bits, you're going to lose your profile. So there's also bits where, you know, the matched rail and style bits that you can buy if you're doing your own kitchens. So if you blow out one bit, you can't just buy one more because they're like a pentagraph. They're all made on one machine, and whatever's cut on one side is cut on the other side. So you can't get another one. You probably have a slight variation, and that's why they sell them as matched sets. So you're snookered. You got to buy both. Okay, but you can't sharpen profile bits. You can hone them. Again, you use them, you clean them, you put them away. They will last you a long, long time.
A lot of our cases, this bottom piece, don't throw it away. It's used as a
Storage box.
case. Okay, so like I mean, all of our new packaging is going to be this way. And you just simply drop this bottom piece, which you can't see, in your toolbox or however you have it, your cabinet. Drop it in.
So this is one of the smaller CNCs, or shaper cutters that we do have. There's larger ones. You can custom order them. They have a separate Italian catalog for them. This is something that I don't even want to get into. I don't know a lot about them, but I don't know if you have a shaper cutter here.
No.
A router for everybody will do. This basically, we have a lot of the large raised panel cutter. You can buy exactly the same. If you're doing a door, you want to match your entry doors or your kitchen door, your pantry doors, whatever to your kitchen, you can match everything. Like we have door kits, so you can match your kitchen doors with your front door, back door, side door, whatever you want. You can do that all on a shaper. It's just a larger format. Okay. Anything else? Now we're going to go to a little bit of this fun stuff. This is what I was saying about. We've made this blade in a 10 and an 8 and a 12 inch. They're all 40 tooth blades, and they're all awesome at cross cutting and ripping, and they do all kinds of wood. You get a great cut on each one. Again, half a tooth above the surface of the wood, you're done. Okay. There is. We told you about that. The blue line rip. Oh, we got it back. Cabinet maker's blade. This is a full 1/8, 16. The hook angle is 10 degrees, so it's 10 degrees forward to center. It's a great cross-cutting blade. You put it on your table saw, on especially the belt drive table saw. It's got enough juice to run it, no problem. Same with this. You can get it in a thin kerf as well. This is a full body blade. You can get it in a thin. A lot of the industrials are moving to thinner kerf. Okay. So the newest to the marketplace. I'm going to show you that first. Does anybody do any hole saw work or anything like that?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm glad I brought it then. So, hole saws in general, what we have out there on the market right now, is basically, it's all wrong. Okay, they're too shallow. This is 42% deeper than any hole saw that you find. Okay, this is a 3 5/8. So they're too shallow. When you get the plug inside it, you have to get a screwdriver and pry them all out. So you go from a 5/8, can anybody tell me, from a 5/8 to a 6-inch hole saw, how many mandrels you need? Yes. How many?
2.
Nope.
3.
Right. Sometimes 4, depending on whose product you buy. Okay? This is our invention. Quick load mandrel. I have a guy drooling over here already. It's a quick load mandrel. The mandrels, every single hole saw comes with the mandrel, screwed on and welded on the inside. These come from the same factory as our recips. The mandrel is one bit, one mandrel. It's all quick load. It goes from 5/8 to 6 inches. Done.
How much?
900 and no. The mandrel retails for $19.99, and it comes with 2 adapter nuts, so you can convert your
Yeah.
current product that you have.
Wasn't that kind?
It is fun. So the mandrel is $19.99. It comes with the bit, the mandrel, and 2 conversion nuts. You can buy the nuts on their own. You can buy the bit on their own, but the mandrel is the one that does the trick. So you have a plug caught inside.